what the meanest thing that I ever did to y'all was? I told you guys that I was going to film a Q&A a while back, and then I never actually did it, which I feel like was so rude. But I'm here and I'm doing it today. The reason that I didn't do it a while back was because I just didn't get enough questions. So I'm going to be answering the questions in the order that they were asked. I'm reading these off of my little sister's phone that's not really her phone because it's my grandmother's old phone, if that makes any sense. So Schleich and Farm Girl asked, do you do 4-H? What animal do you want next? And dream pet/animal. So I am in 4-H, but I don't really do stuff with them. I was hoping to kind of do more with them this year, but we haven't really done that yet. What animal do you want next? So we're kind of in a place right now where we don't really need more animals. I would love to have a peacock, but they're just so loud, and we do have neighbors, and so I just don't know if we're really going to be interested in doing that. So really the animal that I want next, I really just want for our animals to have babies basically, which we won't be keeping for very long, but I guess you could say that's what animal I want next. Now my dream pet would probably be a horse, but we're not in a place where we can get a horse right now. All right, and something I want to mention is that I'm going to put, some of these people that ask questions don't have YouTube channels, but the ones that do post videos on YouTube, I'm going to link their channels in the description below. So the next person that asked questions was Life Grip. Okay, so this is editing me. I just realized that this person's first question was, what is your favorite book of the Bible? And somehow that got cut out, or I didn't answer that. So my favorite book of the Bible is Genesis. Back to the video. So my favorite Bible verse is Joshua 1:9. What's your favorite horse breed and horse color? Ooh, that's a hard one. My favorite breed is probably quarter horses. I also really like Percherons, and paints are basically the same thing as quarter horses, so I guess you could count them. But my favorite color, that's really hard because I really like all of the colors. I really like roans though lately. Like, I've always been like, oh, roans are so pretty. So I guess right now roans are my favorite color. But one thing about me is my favorite things change a lot. If it's my favorite thing now, it might not be my favorite thing tomorrow. What's your favorite chicken breed and chicken color? So I have two favorite chicken breeds. My favorites are Brahmas and Cochins. Cochins are just really, really sweet. They make really good pets. You can hold them. They're really friendly. Brahmas, they're really big. They're so pretty, and they lay a lot of eggs. They also lay really big eggs, so they're pretty useful chickens. What chores do you like best, and which chores do you dislike? Ooh, okay. So what I like best is mostly the rewarding chores. So I really like collecting eggs, getting fruits and vegetables out of the garden, stuff like that. I also really like feeding the animals. The chores I don't like are usually ones that have poop involved. I don't really like scooping out poop and stuff like that, but it's just part of it, so I just have to do it. What is your favorite farm animal? I think my favorite animals will always be dogs and horses. It's been that way for a long time, but I really do love all farm animals. I mean, you couldn't have a farm without all the farm animals. What's your favorite wild animal? Oh, that's really hard. Well, I've always liked a lot of different exotic animals. I like flamingos and lemurs specifically. Those are two of my favorites. The next question came from Todd Sanders. What is your favorite part about farming? Probably like I said, like the rewarding part, but I also really like having animals. I've always been into animals. So probably having animals is my favorite thing. What is your least favorite part about farming? So probably is deaths. I mean, it's just really sad when an animal dies, and it's just part of farm life, but it's really hard, and it's probably the worst part. Okay, if someone were to ask you how they could start their own farming life, what would you suggest to them based on your experience? Start with chickens. Chickens kind of force you to fall into the rabbit hole. You just get chickens and you want more chickens, and then you decide you need a garden, and then you need bunnies, and then you need goats, and then you need sheep, and it goes on forever. I would suggest starting small and just kind of slowly growing. We do our farm here on a pretty small property. I'm not going to say how many acres we have. We do have a lot of woods, but I mean, we keep our animals on a pretty small area. What does your farm life look like in, say, 5 years down the road? Okay, so I might be in college in 5 years. I don't know, that feels like so far off. I kind of hope when I go to college my parents will take care of the animals. We'll see about that. But I do have a lot of like future farming plans for our farm. Wildly Equestrian asks top 3 favorite books. Okay, that's really hard. I don't know what my top 3 favorite books are. So I'm just gonna put them on the screen somewhere. Your dream horse, probably anything that's like dead broke. Just a good horse is a good horse. Just a horse that can behave very well, that can do trail rides. Maybe my color would be a roan or something like that. Do you want to have your own farm one day? And if so, what animals would you have? When I grow up, I definitely want to have a farm and I want to have horses. And I'll probably want to have the same animals that I have right now. So goats, sheep, chickens, bunnies, turkeys, dogs. What do you like to do most in your riding lessons? So we have this pond that we go around, and we call it just making the loop because it's so short, it's not really a trail ride. But sometimes we will canter or run down the edge of that pond, and it is so much fun. So that's probably my favorite thing to do during the riding lessons. Do you think you will ever lease or buy a horse? Yes, but not right now. We're not really in a place where right now is the time to get a horse, but maybe in the next couple of years, I don't know, we'll see. What are your favorite YouTube channels? So I really love all of y'all's channels. Farm Diaries, Wildly Equestrian, all of y'all. Some of my favorite bigger channels are White House on the Hill and Weed'em and Reap. Those channels are really inspiring and I just really love them. I don't know how to say this channel, but they asked, how old are you? I don't say that here on YouTube for privacy purposes. Are you homeschooled? Yes, I've been homeschooled my whole life, but I've always done like co-op type things with other homeschoolers. I do see myself going off to college. I'm not gonna live here forever. Let's just leave it at that. Evelyn from Evelyn's Farm Diaries asked, what animals do you want to add to the farm? So again, we probably won't get any more animals soon. We're just not really at a place right now where we can get more animals. So the animals that I want to get are basically for our animals to have babies, even though we probably won't be keeping them. How long have you had your small farm? So I've been gardening my whole life, and I've been around other people's farm animals my whole life. The lady that I take horseback lessons from, I've been around her animals for so long. So I've always been like exposed to farming, but we didn't really start our farm here until about 2 years ago. In 2023. What career can you see yourself doing in the future? I want to be a veterinarian, probably mostly just for dogs and cats, but I definitely love dog training and horse training. So I might also do on the side some type of animal training and farming, obviously. How old are you? I don't say that on YouTube. Will you be keeping the goat kids? Probably not. The only reason we would keep one would be if something tragic happens to one of our goats. So say something, this is going to sound sad, but say something tragic happens to Tilly, we would consider keeping one of the babies, but probably not because we don't want to have any accidental breeds, like we don't want any inbred goats. What are your goals and plans for your YouTube channel? So one of my biggest goals on YouTube is to build a community of people who love, my videos and farm life. I really like having a community on YouTube. It's so neat because I get to connect with people that live so far away from me, but they're still into the same thing and have a similar lifestyle. So it's just really, really neat. I love that. And the second big goal that I have for my channel, ultimately, I do want to get monetization, but that's not really something I'm super worried about right now. Building a community with you guys is the most important thing right now, but I do put a lot of work into my videos, so getting paid for it would be extremely nice and helpful. but I'm okay with not being monetized right now. I just hope that in the future I will be able to make money off of this channel. Okay guys, so today's the day after I filmed the Q&A, and yesterday, about 2 minutes after I finished filming, I got some more questions, and these questions come from Macy from Farm and Faith, and I really didn't want to leave her out. So I just decided that I was going to go ahead and answer these questions. Some of these questions she asked, I basically already answered in this video, so I'm just going to kind of skip those. But the ones that haven't really been asked, I'm going to answer. So how many animals do you have? Probably around 70, including all of our chickens. How long have you been riding? I've been riding for about 5 years now. What version of the Bible do you read? I read all of the versions, but the New Living Translation is the one that I usually do. How many siblings do you have? I have 3 siblings. What's your favorite animal on your farm? Definitely my dog, Kyle. Okay, do you plan on getting cattle, pigs, or horses? So my dad eventually wants to have cows, but we obviously won't have them on this property. We will probably have them somewhere else. Pigs, I don't really see us getting pigs anytime in the future. And horses, I kind of already talked about that. What breed is your dog and how old is he? He is a Doberman Pinscher, and I believe he's 7 or 8 years old. How long have you had your dog? I've had him since he was 8 weeks old, so pretty much his whole life. What state do you live in? I don't say that on YouTube for privacy purposes, but I obviously live in the South, hence my accent. Do you have any cats? No, I do not have any cats. If you don't have cats, do you plan on getting any? No, probably not. I don't think really we're interested in ever getting cats. However, I do love cats. What are your favorite YouTube channels? And I already said that, so I'm just going to kind of skip that. What do you use your sheep and goats for? Okay, so lots of things actually. We plan to eventually breed our sheep and goats and sell the babies. I plan to milk the goats eventually, but right now we're using the sheep and goats for petting zoo type stuff. So when people are having birthday parties or anything like that, basically, they'll pay us to bring the animals and we'll let the kids feed them, pet them, do whatever we're going to do. So that's what we're using them for right now, but ultimately the money making is going to be in selling their babies. Would you ever get a Labrador Retriever? I don't know if I would ever get a Labrador Retriever. If we get another dog, we'll probably end up getting some type of livestock guardian dog. Do you like to hunt? I don't hunt, but my brother hunts a lot. He has a deer stand out in the woods. You guys have probably seen it in the background before. Okay, what is your favorite dog, goat, and chicken breed? My favorite dog breed is really hard. I have 3 favorites. My 3 favorites are Doberman Pinschers, Great Pyrenees, and I also really like Chesapeake Bay Retrievers. My favorite goat breed is Nigerian Dwarf. I mean, all my goats are Nigerian Dwarfs, so. My favorite chicken breed, I already said, that's Cochins and Brahmas. How many goats and sheep do you have? So we have 5 does and 2 bucks on the goats. So we have 7 goats, and then we have 3 sheep. We have 2 ewes and 1 ram. So that is all the questions for today. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And if you have questions that you want to ask me but you didn't get a chance to ask me, put them in the comments below. And I will either answer them in the next Q&A video if I ever do another Q&A video, or I'll just go in the comments and answer those questions under the comment that you posted. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!